are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me, and open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me, open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole.
Good morning. I'm Jan Svoboda, a prayer practitioner here at the center. Please join me for prayer. Anchoring into that place of peace, that place of knowing. There is only one life, and that is God's life. That is Spirit's life. It is everywhere present. There are no beginnings or endings. There is only now. Now, always expansive. It is love, truth, harmony, peace, and joy. And especially in the season of renewal and rebirth, we see God, Spirit's life in so many new and refreshing ways. The bird's song, the blossoms, the bellowing clouds and a blue sky, the thundering of water coming down from the mountaintops. It is God being God, God being life, God the creator, the sustainer, the director, the comforter. It is right here, moving in and through my very body, mind, and spirit. I am the Divine One expressing itself. And I know this to be true for each one listening, that each one has a unique, specialized expression of the divine. And in this oneness with life itself, I speak my word for and about this service, that this is the right time to be together, that the right people are here listening and being a part of the community, and the right people are giving the talk and making the music. I accept for each one here an opening of our minds and our hearts to the message, to being here, to receive the gifts of this service. May each one receive just what they're looking for. I give great thanks for this coming together today. I give great thanks for the presence of God, the expressions of love here for this service. And I release this prayer knowing that as I do, it has already been done. And so it is. Here is today's affirmation from our Prayers of Wisdom and Vision book. I am one with this divine presence. It is the origin of my strength and my courage. It is both the creator of my path and it is my path. And so it is.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I am Edward Viljoen and I am very pleased to welcome you here today. Today is the last day of Passover and it is Easter Sunday also. Jews celebrate Passover all over the globe to remember their freedom from when they were enslaved. And they also look forward to a time when all of humanity will be saved from the suffering of every kind that imprisons us in this world. Poverty, violence, climate instability, inequities of every kind, discrimination, corruption, injustices, and all of the troubles that keep us stuck and not able to move forward in the world. Indeed, in Jewish homes on the first night of the holiday at the Passover Seder dinner, it's also a time to recognize, like an affirmation, that although we are free, that not all people are free. In our tradition at the Center for Spiritual Living, it's quite similar to when we affirm and accept in our consciousness that spiritually speaking, we are indeed free and simultaneously we have work to do. Yes, we are free in spirit and simultaneously the journey continues. The call is to let our spiritual freedom move us to pass over and to pass through the limiting social constructs that keep people from thriving. And let us not rest until all people are free. So whether it is Easter for you, or Passover, or spring, or just another Sunday celebration, as a person of faith, I invite you to join me to open your heart. Let us open our hearts together to all of those who are suffering, and maybe that is you who is suffering. We are encouraged today not to forget those who are imprisoned, those who are shelterless, those who are marginalized, and those who are suffering in ways we don't even know of, so that we don't forget the many times that somebody reached out to us in support. When somebody made a sacrifice, a meaningful sacrifice in such a way that it gave us the courage and the hope to rise again, to grow again, to emerge again, to keep on going. In ancient times, Jews celebrated this holy day, the whole holy season, by sacrificing a lamb near the temple in Jerusalem and then eating it during the Passover's first night feast. For Christians, Jesus became the symbol of that sacrificed lamb, the Lamb of God, who takes away the errors of the world, on condition, the story goes, that we accept into our hearts and believe the spiritual truth of oneness that Jesus represented. This is why to his people he was known as the Christ, the Anointed One, the one who saw no difference between himself and the power that created him and that created you and me. And then from that knowing, he taught us to trust that our lives are part of an eternal and ever-renewing holy journey called life. So however you believe or whatever your spiritual history, tradition, or current practice is, may your day-to-day be filled with holiness and wholesome and celebration and support and revelation. I am so glad you joined us today. If you would like to help support the Center for Spiritual Living, please be invited to make a donation on our website, www.cslsr.org. Or if you are watching on Facebook, you'll notice that there is a donate button that you can safely use also. And finally, we welcome you writing checks and mailing them in. And may I say how encouraging it is to receive your notes of appreciation. If you remain to the end of this service, you will see those messages that have been typed up and put onto a scrolling marquee for you to enjoy as much as we and the staff enjoy when we receive them. I am certain that somewhere between the music and the meditation and the prayer is exactly what your heart is seeking for strength for your spiritual journey. Welcome.
The Lord is my shepherd, I have all I need. She makes me lie down in green meadows, beside the still waters she will lead. She restores my soul, she rights my wrongs. She leads me in a path of good things and fills my heart with songs. Even though I walk through a dark and dreary land, there is nothing that can shake me. She has said she won't forsake me. I'm in her hand. She sets a table before me in the presence of my foes. She anoints my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely, surely goodness and kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in her house forever, forever and ever. into the Holy of Holies, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Thank you, Christopher, for that beautiful rendition of that psalm. You know, what you can do in 5 minutes of music takes me 30 minutes to an hour to do with words, because that is the power of art and music and poetry, the ability to open us up to speak directly to our soul with emotion and pictures. That is also the power and art that is in the words of the psalm that you sang for us today. It's a perfect poem, a meditation, a prayer, an affirmation for our service today on Easter Sunday. Now I'm going to invite you, the audience, to read the words that are appearing on the screen in a moment with me to set the tone for our time together today. They come from our statement of belief. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of all life to be complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. That's from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. Centuries ago, before Dr. Ernest Holmes, a poet, an artist poet, caught a glimpse, an inspired vision of the divine, which he then translated into a poem which became a song. Of course, I'm talking about David, the psalmist, who would become King David of the Jewish tradition. Now, the words of his psalm, the famous psalm, well, those words spoke to the hearts of the people of his time in a profoundly moving way. And the vision that he had of the divine that he put into the words of the psalm was so strong that it survives today and moves many of us in the same way that it moved people centuries ago who heard it. We may not share the same culture, not live at the same time, not speak the same language, but the vision is so universal that it crosses all of those barriers and remains personal to all who choose to take it in. A vision. Have you ever had a moment, a visionary moment? You know, one of those moments when you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and it's as if the world pauses for a moment. And at that moment, things click into place in your understanding. You understand life more expansively, more precisely. It's like a download of information, of wisdom, of seeing, of feeling is pouring into your heart and mind. Maybe you weren't expecting it. Maybe you weren't even planning for it. It just arrived. It just came. And the moment allows you to see a universal picture of life a little more clearly. That idea, the image of a download, got me to thinking about, online streaming video applications and services. I'm sure many of you have got something like Hulu or Netflix or YouTube. Well, there are many of them. Whatever it is you use to stream or download your entertainment, because there is something among several of them that really annoys me. There I am. I'm browsing through what video I want to watch, minding my own business, and a video preview just starts to play by itself. And suddenly it's in my living room and it's in my mind. It's pouring into my consciousness. I'm exaggerating a bit, but I think you understand. Clearly, I can't claim to be a victim to this automatic preview video because I tuned in. I was available to it already. I got to thinking about that because I imagine that's how David's vision came to him. You see, he was a shepherd. And at the same time that he was a shepherd, he was also tuned into something larger than his identity as a shepherd. And this is what made him available to that automatic download. And so I imagine the vision came to him while he was just simply doing his shepherd thing. And then when the image came, it came to him in imagery that spoke to his heart, that made sense, that he could understand. It came to him in the form of the relationship between the shepherd and his herd. Now today, that might seem a bit distant for many of us to really connect with, for many people in our world, who have little connection to sheep herding. In Sonoma County, at least, we probably have more chance of encountering a sheep than many other communities in our state in the larger urban areas. And even so, very few of us have experience of or are familiar with the career path of sheep herding, one person to a herd. So, when the Psalm's first lines are uttered, "The Lord is my shepherd," we must place ourselves in the time and in the place of the people who were hearing it for the first time. You see, tending to livestock was a crucial part of the lives and safety and sustenance of the people of the time. And so they instantly understood, they connected with not only what was being said, but they understood between the lines what wasn't being said. No one needed to explain it to them like we have to sometimes explain it to ourselves. So with the words, "The Lord is my shepherd," David instantly evoked an image that in his time had so much warmth and depth and relevance and feeling and meaning that in that one sentence he said everything that he would ever need to say about the divine in a very particular way. Because in that one sentence, this poet, he converted any image of an angry, jealous, judgy, parental God into something sweet and personal and close, something that watches and guides. I was wondering, what would be comparable for us today? I don't know what career path makes us go to that place of goodness and sweetness, Maybe it's teachers. Maybe it's parenthood. Each person's going to have their own one. So today for us, when we say the Lord is my shepherd, perhaps we can connect with it if we say, it's like declaring something like this: I am so utterly aware of the everywhere present nature of the Divine One. And this is where the second line comes in, right? I am so completely aware of the sweet nature of the divine presence in my life that I shall not want. In the version that Chris just sang for us, the lyrics are given like this for the second line: I have all I need. And so we have to look at that sentence and explore its meaning. You know, it evokes the sense of that biblical phrase, my grace is sufficient to you. It's about enoughness. It's about being at peace with what is. And David, the psalmist, the poet, the musician, he's not doing some kind of spiritual bypass here. He's not affirming, all is well when things are clearly not all well. He's talking about enoughness in the presence of challenges. He's talking about needs being met from the inside and not from the outside. Rabbi Kushner, a great spiritual author, he says that his version of this second line of the psalm would read something like this: I shall often want, but I will never feel deprived or diminished if I don't get what I yearn for, because I know how blessed I am by what I have. Wow. You know, so many of us this last year have realized just how precious life is, how precious community is, and connection, and family, and freedom, and well-being, and justice. And many of us have not been able to see family, to connect. We have not been able to celebrate significant life passages or mourn together. And some have even not been able to get the care they needed or accompany others to get the care they needed. So the psalm and its words come to us at a very tender time. So let us see what it says about this guiding presence. It says, He makes me lie down in green pastures. That's an image of rest and safety and sustenance. It says, He leadeth me beside the still water. Not beside the turbulent water, which would be dangerous for sheep. No, by the still, calm water. And then it says, He restores my soul. And there we have it. There it is. The tenderness of being human. Even though it's all good, sometimes it's not all good. And we have to be restored. There's something powerful in that line to pay attention to. It acknowledges that no matter how wonderful things are, there still come times when we feel disconnected from that, discouraged even, empty. Yes, in the divine I have all I need, and still there will come times when I need to be lifted up, filled, put back on my feet. I can relate to that. Even after years of following the spiritual path, using affirmative prayer, meditating and doing my sacred study, and all of the practices that you and I know are so very nurturing and good, there still come times, despite everything I know about the goodness and the allness of time, there still come times when I am discouraged and I feel empty. I wonder if you have that same experience too sometimes. Yes, in spirit, I have all I need. And there will come times when I need to be restored. And the psalmist says, even when this emptiness is happening, Even when discouragement is present, even then, I will be guided along a path that he calls the path of righteousness. And righteousness here I take to mean decency, genuine, transparency, honor. Even when the path twists and turns and doubles back, even when fires burn our city and pandemics emerge, even when I feel lost, like I'm traveling through a dark and dreary, shadowy place, even then, that which is eternal remains as it always was. That's the message. It goes like this. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You know, when you're walking in the shadows, you can't see where you're going. Obstacles are hidden from view. And the word death in this context describes that which is those moments which are when we lose our awareness of wholeness, where we feel devastated, where we feel like things have ended, where we feel helpless. And even then, yes, even then, there is something in me that is not afraid and cannot become afraid. Oh, I have held on to that in times in my life. You know, there have been times. There was this one particular time I'm remembering right now when I was going through a very difficult spot. Things did not make sense to me. Changes were happening too quickly in my life, and I felt like I had no control over my options or even my safety. And all I could do was to cling to the words of the psalm, these words, yea, though I walk through, and the key word is through. I would remind myself, yes, yea, I am walking through this dark and dismal, dreary, frightening phase of my life, but I'm not forsaken. I've had to remember that even in our community, like times in our community when we have lost young adults to suicide, or like the times when I have not been able to find the correct words to comfort people who have lost their homes to fire, or have lost loved ones that they couldn't visit when they were in intensive care, or lost their careers, or who have lost their life savings, or like times when, and you can probably fill in the blank here, in those moments I've just had to hold on to gently in my mind the words, repeating them gently like this. Even though I'm walking through a dark and dreary place, there is that within me which is not afraid and which cannot become afraid, and it is within me. And within me it is eternal, and it does not and cannot abandon me. I just love how the Bobby McFerrin version gives that line. Oh, it's so beautiful. Here it is. There is nothing that can shake me. She has said she will not forsake me. I am in her hand. There is another line in the psalm that I love so very much. Here it is. I will fear no evil. Now, can you imagine why I would love that line so much? I'll tell you why. Because the psalm does not say, I will not encounter it. No, it does not say that. It says, I will get through it. And my comfort and my guide will be that which lives in me, in my mind, in my heart, in my consciousness. That with which I am eternally united. That will be my sufficiency and absolutely nothing else. Oh, this can be difficult to remember, especially when a person is in the valley, right? Oh, this psalm is so beautifully written for those times. It starts off with that tranquil mood and scene, so peaceful. And then it becomes more personal and more relevant, and things change, and the psalm acknowledges struggle and danger and darkness that we experience and the shadows of our lives. And then if you pay attention, you'll notice that references to the divine change from he and she and becomes thou. Oh, from the personal to the universal, expanding, and the focus of the message changes to, first, it's all about having our needs met. And then it becomes a little more about the courage that it takes for life's journey. And then it becomes about the closeness of our walk with the divine. And then it concludes with this grand aha moment, a revelation that goes something like this. Even though this or that, even though with everything I'm going through, even though with shadows and challenges, surely goodness and mercy will follow me. Not just for these days that I'm alive on this earth in this challenge, but forever. And that speaks to something mystical about being a human. It speaks to the ability we have to know that there is a perfect right action right in the exact moment that we cannot see it. It is a reminder to us that we have that ability. So to me, this psalm is a perfect meditation for our time, for Passover, for Easter, for spring, because it reminds me of what I believe. It goes something like this. The divine is in us and through us and as us. That is why we have the resiliency that we do. And when we remember that, we are encouraged to lift ourselves up, to lift each other up, and to live as fearlessly as we can in each given minute, in every moment. Not because things will not go wrong, but because even if they do go wrong, there is something in us eternally that prevails. I invite you to take a breath in with me and to exhale into a moment of prayer. That power that we call Creator, the mind, the architect of creation, the thing itself, is present everywhere, in all things, in all ages and in all times, across all dimensions, and it is present here, in me and as me. And it is present where every person hearing this message is. And it is that mind that guides, that causes each one of us to think, to choose, and to act in ways that lead us forward into our greater yet to be. I realize then with comfort that no matter what is going on the outer plane of life, that simultaneously there remains within me and each one of us that witness, that friend, that presence that knows and knows that it knows, that intuitively nudges us, that accepts us, that speaks through us of its own love, and that restores us to our spiritual self-knowledge of oneness with all. As I dwell upon this, I think, surely goodness can only result from knowing this, from living in this way, not only now, but forever. And so it is.
Hello, I'm Angela Glasser, a practitioner here at the Center. And here are some opportunities to participate in our community. Registration for summer classes opens today with early bird discount pricing. There is a wide range of offerings. You can also still register for Reverend Joyce Dufala's class on spiritual community, which starts Tuesday. Visit the Classes tab on our website for details. Lunchtime learning continues this month as Reverend Tara guides us in finding the heart in Ernest Holmes' teaching, specifically his early writings collected in the book Love and Law. Let's find those nuggets of heart, science, and mystery together on Wednesdays in April from noon to 1 p.m. This coming Wednesday, April 7th, Wednesday Night Live brings Reverend Harriet Hawkins to our community at 7 p.m. Her topic is Full Contact Love, with time for comments and questions afterwards. What is Eat for the Street? It's a tasty takeout dinner event that raises funds for the center and for meals that are cooked for the unsheltered in Santa Rosa. Intrigued? The team that cooks for the unsheltered and for this special event are certified food handlers, masked and socially distant, working in a commercial kitchen. To participate in Eat for the Street, go to our website and click on the picture with the giant mixing bowl to see the food choices and how to order. Then, on Thursday, April 8th, you'll come by the center, take away your pre-ordered meals, and enjoy them at home or wherever you choose. After service today, you are invited to connect with one of our prayer practitioners for after-service prayer. In a free, confidential prayer session, a practitioner will assist you in shifting your perspective about the truth of who you are. To receive prayer, leave at the end of this broadcast and go to the special link for the after-service prayer. And again, thank you for your presence.
Greetings, beloved community. This is Esther Nicholson, founder and author of Soul Recovery. Recovery is actually the rediscovery, reawakening, and realigning to your essential nature of confidence, empowerment, clarity, a sense of safety, freedom, and your overall well-beingness. So in this workshop, the Healing Code of Forgiveness, Freedom from Shame and Trauma, we're going to release that heavy energetic, that heavy weight of those experiences and those illusions that you've been carrying around. And we are going to get reacquainted with your true identity, who you really are. We are going to reconnect. You are going to reconnect to you, the real you. So join me in this workshop, the Healing Code of Forgiveness, Freedom from Shame and Trauma, Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa, on April 18th. When you register for this workshop, you will be given the link to join us on that date and time, where we're going to go in and we're going to heal that inner child. We're going to set you free and reignite you, recover you, the real you. I am so looking forward to being with you, beloved. Peace and blessings.
Hello, CSL Santa Rosa. My name is Harriet Hawkins, and I am so delighted that I will be joining you on Wednesday, April 7th, to talk about full contact love, to be that love, to fulfill that love on every level and dimension of our being, and talk about what its connection is with science of mind. That we have this beautiful symbol here, which I absolutely love, that reveals so much more about the creative process, different states of consciousness. I use it for everything. And why did Ernest Holmes, near the end of his life, say, I wish he had talked more about love than law? So we're going to look at all of that and play with all of it, and hopefully, the intention is, by the end of our time together, we will walk away with our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our souls expanded and infused in pure, unlimited, unbounded, creative, unconditional love. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you then.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything